but we're getting ready for game number 4. When it comes to the Battlegrounds, is there anything in particular that you want to see from these teams? If Fnatic wants to get a victory, where should they go? If Method wants a victory, where should they look at?
I mean, okay, again, this question makes no sense. Sorry, but like I don't know who picks the map, so I can't answer that question.
That's true.
It's like I have peeked. I know what the map is.
What is it? It's BOE. Let's go ahead and check out our Battleground.
What
It
could
has
it
been
be?
chosen. BOE. I was wondering if the Spider Queen might come out.
Since it is BOE, I would actually say this is Method. Fnatic has chosen to take first pick, and Method has picked the map here. That seems the most likely. It's a map where Fnatic is okay, on a great 2 wins, 3 losses. Method, on the other hand, despite the fact that they have a 50% win rate, they played the map 10 times and they chose it 6 times. And yes, so it's Method. Like again, map choices always comes down, do you know which team picks the map?
Yeah.
Then you can answer that question much more reliably, but without having an idea of which team chooses, it's basically impossible.
Well, we're getting BOE here, and we'll be seeing the dance on Hanzo, whether or not he gets banned out or picked up. But I expect that we're going to see a little bit more of a ban on the Abathurors there, so we'll try and keep that away from the opposing team. And also maybe not so much on the solo Tracer this time, especially
I think
on this map.
A map that Fnatic, for example, would like to play if they get their hands on it, it's a bit difficult. They have a good track record in Tomb, but so does Method. Volskaya is traditionally better for Fnatic as well.
That's
but they don't. Oh, they actually banned it, yeah. The best map for them would be Curse, but Curse has been banned by Method for that reason. Between those two teams, it's actually not as easy. Normally you have a team that is incredibly powerful on the map, but they are very neck on neck on most maps here. I mean, it is number 3 going up against number 4, but very interestingly, most of the maps, they are very, very close when it comes to performance. The few outliers are the ones that got banned out, so it's kind of tricky. This is really now getting into, with us getting into number 4, number 5 here potentially, this is really one of those things where it's mostly what do you feel like right now? What map do you feel good? What's the preference?
Yeah.
But there's very little where you can say, okay, this is still one of our homegrown maps where we have a perfect strategy and our opponent is weak, because those maps are mostly out already.
Which team is playing on the day too also becomes a factor. Fnatic opens up with a Medivh ban, staying true to keeping ADRD and that Medivh away. Only map we didn't see that ban on was Sky Temple. Li Ming
Just
and Method.
Think about what happens if this is going to go the 5th map and we're actually going to see practice.
Good tactic. That's for sure.
All right.
There's that Abathur ban.
Yeah, Abathur banned out. I mean, different map too, but of course, yes, Abathur eliminated here. Leaving a lot of strong... Like, Genji was banned so many times. By both teams, actually, throughout the series. Let's see they're coming in as a ban again, but then you leave the Diablo setup open again. Oh, of course, Hammer.
Fnatic attempt to go for a first pick. Hanzo, yes! So Hanzo is now in the mix here. And now Method has decided if they want to try and control space, or if they want to go for an aggressive dive. With Genji being up, that could be an option, the latter one there.
Muradin as an early pick is another option here. I mean, it is Method after all. We know that Benny absolutely loves that hero. Most of the time we're seeing more Diablo being picked early, but Method has played Muradin way more often. Urel and Genji, both taken. All right.
There it is.
Giving Fnatic a chance to ban out Muradin, pick a strong tank for themselves. For example, pick Diablo or Muradin, ban out the other. Method still with Urel has the opportunity to go into Nubarak if they want. With Genji, they have another hero that can dive the backline if he really wanted to.
Trying to see which warrior we're going to get here for Fnatic. It's going to be the Diablo. Phoenix will also be a second pick, though.
Taking it also away from Nick.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Method has played Diablo 16 times. They have played Phoenix 16 times. So those are their top heroes by far. Another hero that they play more so than anything else is, for example, Deckard Cain and Urel. So Urel is already in their hands. Deckard Cain is a hero that they're definitely going to pick if they have the chance. And that's also what I would expect for them right now. With the hero not being banned out, with supports not targeted, I would say Deckard Cain is very, very likely for them to come into play now. And Muradin is still up. Deckard Cain, Muradin feels like that's very much... That would be a very Method pick pattern right now.
I'd start being a little worried for their
Garrosh over Muradin.
damage on the Immortal, but yeah, wow, the Garrosh comes out instead.
Still Deckard. Garrosh is a hero that Method has actually only played once, and they lost with him. Bad Benny is really full on in the Muradin camp. If he doesn't play Diablo, he plays Muradin. This is pretty much what we have there. He plays also way more Muradin than Diablo, so it's like it's #1 hero.
That's a surprise, that's for sure.
Uther and Dehaka. So we get the Dehaka for Last Hope. As Blaze is banned out, that makes a lot of sense. And Uther to keep Hanzo alive.
Yep. You see Genji move in, fire the Divine Shield. I am a little worried for Phoenix. Genji does pretty alright there with this straight build into him.
What is Nick gonna go here? Are we gonna see a Reyna in this game?
They need some damage for the Immortal. Or at least something. They're gonna go Reyna, okay.
Alright. More balanced.
Yep.
For sure. Haven't really found too much success with Reyna yet. 4 games, only 1 win.
For the map, Fnatic is pretty well equipped. I mean, anytime you have Hanzo, but you have Phoenix too, making it hard for even Garrosh to step up.
I'm surprised by the Garrosh pick. Considering that Muradin was open,
yeah,
I'm surprised. But Benny, again, Muradin is a snap pick for them. They first picked Muradin when no other team would. Now you have Muradin open. They go into Garrosh with that. You have the taunt. That's great when you get onto anyone here. But Muradin just feels also pretty good with what they have. And they haven't shown a lot of Garrosh. So the entire way the team usually plays hinges on a lot of those Muradin opportunities. And this is a map where you can play a lot around Muradin. You can go into stacking your damage quite easily. You have a lot of brawls in the middle too for the quest completion. Perfect Storm if you want it. Third Wind gets a lot of value if you rather go down that path simply because you have those trade-offs. So you can eat a lot of damage at the front and then simply move back, heal up again, and then tank again so the Immortal doesn't take too much damage. So that pick, I have to admit, that pick surprised me a little bit.
The only thing I can think of is that it introduces a bit of caution into the opposing team, but Muradin does that same thing there, and at least you're in a spot where you can save teammates too, if you didn't know what exactly was going to be coming your way.
I mean, Breeze can show off his Diablo style again. He is 5-1 on the hero. Still one of his best tanks next to Johanna. So let's see how that's going to work out for them. Game number 4 as we are heading into Battlefield of Eternity. On the left, Mene on Phoenix for Fnatic with Breeze on Diablo. Schwimpy, Hanzo Smexy on Uther, and Last Hope on Dehaka Shakalaka.
And for Metha, just coming off a victory. ADRD to play Genji. Bad Benny will be showing off that Garrosh, see why he picked him. Nick looking to show some Raynor gameplay as well. Looking over to Thero, Urel will be his play. And then over to the right, Curson as well coming in here to show off Deckard Cain.
All right, let's get this started. Okay, here we go. Look at that level 1 on Nick. I've seen it a few times now, but I don't think we have actually seen it in HGC in Europe yet. We have seen it in a couple of other regions. I've been waiting for this to pop up on a map like Battlefield of Eternity. So you have Exterminator now taken, and just moving away from your traditional standard. A huge favor for Nick now when it comes to clearing the Immortal. You talked a bit about Immortal pressure that you really want before we had the Reyna pick locked in. And now Exterminator allows you to get the extra damage against minions, mercenaries, and monsters. That means the Immortal is actually affected by it. Also, you get another 100% while Inspire is active. What you also get is a dead Genji because he was trying to be a little bit too sneaky and go for that traditional play where you eliminate your opponent's fountain. Fnatic, not being a bunch of dummies, we're waiting for that to happen. And we get it, take down Genji and save the fountain. And they're about to get Bad Benny too. Maybe not. Good move by Curson. Body blocks, not quite successful.
You know in those movies when you see a robber going into a bank, but you have a security guard just sitting on the other side the entire time, just waiting for it to happen to catch you in the act? That's what that was like.
A little bit.
Mene, the police officer, catches ADRD trying to rob his well. Just steps up and says, I got you now. Straight up shuts him down. Gets help from Schwimpy too.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. ADRD even waited too. He was like, okay, I need to make sure we get to the lane phase. Okay, I see people in the bottom lane. All right, he just hops over and Mene just shows up.
And you know Mene at that point in comms is just like all over it. It's just like... Okay, I can't repeat that here because Mene is very colorful in the way he expresses himself, but I can tell you he was happy.
Finds a kill, saves as well. A little damage on it, but shield will come up soon.
He's like, oh no you don't. You're not gonna get my well.
It's one of those outplayed moments. And now we have a 1 kill lead here for Fnatic. Experience very similar. Genji unable to get that well, but he runs the top lane and starts looking at Last Hope. But Min is here to help out.
I mean, in case that you have never really seen that play, I mean, we probably have a couple of audience members right now that are not quite familiar with this. The well in the middle is actually highly important whenever your own immortal is in a defensive position or when there's an objective on the map, either way. So if you take that out with Genji at the beginning of the game, which is quite easy normally, then you have a huge advantage for the objective because it's difficult for your opponent, especially after the forts are eliminated, to move back and quickly reset on those fountains and then re-engage into the objective fight again.
Yeah.
So you will see Genji players doing that a lot, and it's a small play, usually works out, but even with it not working out and him dying, there's very little that comes as a result in terms of a negative price, because it's so early in the game, the death timers are basically non-existent, and you also don't get a lot of experience out of the kill too. So it's one of those plays where you will get a lot of reward for very little risk.
Gonna have a combo here on the top right. As the defense for Fnatic catches an Aethero. Are they gonna get a kill? Yeah, Smexy just comes up and drops his hammer. Well, he gets his axe. He does have the Lumberjack skin. Give me a kill. Method answers back, gets some damage on that Immortal as well. Actually doing pretty well there.
Yeah, Lumberjack skill. All that chest here, making Uther even more manly than he already is. Gets the stun in there, goes in, drops it, and they get kill number 2 for themselves. All right. The drag connects, another flip, and there goes Bad Benny. Garrosh down 3 kills and staggered death after staggered death, allowing Fnatic to take a bit more of an aggressive position. Breeze is also happy about those 63 souls that he already calls his own.
NDRD has protection here from Smexy. Chest here making sure to be strong enough for him to be put in those scatter arrows. Last Hope doing his best here for defense. And we should have the race go in favor of Fnatic if they're able to get these scatter arrows in. Aethero's trying to slow that down, even a scroll coming out too, but Fnatic wins the Immortal race. Do you know what my parents used to tell me about chest hair and where it comes from?
This is going to be weird.
It is really weird.
Go.
My dad told me that if you ate onions, you get chest hair.
Was that some of these tricks how they made you try and so eat your vegetables because you thought it was cool? All right.
Yeah. Like, I was down for peas, but like green beans and onions, not really into.
You know, while shaving chest hair can be a great idea, have you ever put on, you know, I don't know what they're called in English, but these electrical shavers that women use to shave their legs, you know those things?
Oh, I mean, I know what electrical shaver is, yeah.
Yeah, but they have the special ones, right? Like that
it vibrates the hair off, right?
No, it rips out the roots, basically,
okay, yeah,
and it's quite painful. I tried that with chest hair twice.
Yeah?
Dude, pain is a word that you don't understand until you do that for the second time. When I started bleeding, I was like, holy cow, what is that?
But you're more aerodynamic now.
You try that twice or once in your life, and all of a sudden the word pain gets redefined. I'm not quite sure if it's the same when you do that on your legs, but if it is, then I have a whole new level of respect for women, because that is just horrible, painful stuff.
Camp gets stolen on the top lane. No major fight happening for those two. I think the only time that I've shaved my chest hair was actually in high school when I was being a dummy. I shaved a T into my chest for my name Tim.
Oh really? For your name, Tim?
Yeah,
I wonder what it could have been. Why a T? Please,
and I walked out.
Enlighten me. Tell me more about the story.
I walked out thinking that I was impressive to a party that was happening at the time.
Please tell me that picture.
No, it's not pictures. Hopefully not.
Oh god, love it.
It was a good tea too.
Yeah. All right, I'm sure you looked very manly, about as manly as Uther, riding his little rocket here. Fnatic has taken the lead in experience. I mean, the first objective didn't really do too much for them. We haven't seen a fort fall. Method really dodged out on additional deaths here. So there isn't really a lot that happened around that objective. It was just like that really early, explosive early games when Fnatic got the kill. But now they're trying to get another one here as they go for Aethero, and wow, like they really close the distance onto Urel. That's also the quest completion for Breeze himself as he gets the full stack on his souls. Method is having a tough time finding a foothold here, and they're getting chased all over.
Yeah, 10's about to hit for Fnatic too. No major threat of anyone getting picked off here. Bad Benny low on HP, and now Fnatic can step up with that level 7 advantage thanks to Hanzo and shred this Immortal. Method may have one opportunity to find a pick. They step forward. Bad Benny trying to ride forward and get a pick. Doesn't actually get demounted here by Twimpy, which was his main goal there. but nothing available. And while Dahaka soaks 10 in the top.
Exactly. Dahaka is now soaking the 10, and now you move in. And you have to give that up. The halftime show is lost. I would be amazed if Method can somehow clutch out the Immortal here. I would honestly be amazed. Without level 10 abilities, even being in that area is a massive risk. I can't believe that Method is willing to stay here.
Drag comes out, Ethereal's able to jump away, Bad Benny going in for a combo, but Last Hope will drop the burrow. And now Smexy walks up and gets a free stun as Curson walks into an Immortal stun.
Yeah, and Curson is down. Like, I mean, he's dead here. There's just absolutely no way. Immortal stun or no Immortal stun, but that is just a deck arcane here. Yeah. And now we're having the next Immortal taken. At least they could get the shields a little bit low. That's mainly through the Exterminator on level 1 that we had for Reyna, for Nick. But still, this is really tough times for Method. Because Fnatic is going to be very aggressive with this push. As Method doesn't have level 10 yet, they're going to jump with the Immortal behind the fort to just use that small time window where Ural is still trying to get the experience. And this is one of the reasons why Method isn't even there. They're just saying like, yeah, it's like, we give this up. You can have that. We're going to fight for our keep, that's fine. But our fort, yeah, that's a freebie. Go for it.
There goes that fort. Shield still here for Fnatic. They can move up to this keep wall. Finally, 10's about to connect for Method. Just need to clear out these minions first. And let's see if they try to fight behind the Immortal. They could even try to attempt to fight behind it, force Fnatic back, and then focus down the Immortal. Nick with an Exterminator, actually. Doing well at clearing this up.
Yeah, but other at the top lane, Dahaka wants the second fort. And Fnatic only wants the wall down here. They know they can't get more than that. So now Dahaka has nearly taken the fort top lane. The wall at the bottom has fallen. That's a 2-level lead for Fnatic. They're playing this smart right now. Last Hope actually gets dropped here, but Ethereal is underestimating this danger of the situation a little bit. Drops his 10, so at least he gets the Ardent Defender. Saves himself for now, but that's a 2-minute cooldown that he just burned to survive.
Now have to be careful on flanks. Losing that Ardent Defender means that you can't come in for an aggressive rotation behind enemy lines, but he may not need it.
Yeah.
Fnatic's about to hit 13 anyways.
Exactly. Fnatic is about to hit 13, and this is not what they're going to try and do. Get 13, control the map through the talent advantage, try and roam with 5, see if you can force a fight. If so, do it. Try and drop another target, stagger a few deaths on Method's side, make it more difficult for them to get the experience. Try and control the lanes a little bit. Don't even push it out if you don't have to. Once you have your 13, maybe drop even the fort at the top lane once you have the talent advantage, and hope that the next Immortal is appearing in time so that Method doesn't get their own 13 talent. And for Method, it's just like the battle of trying to get that XP so that they can again fight a fair fight with Fnatic.
This is getting hard.
Yeah, it's getting, for Method, it's really getting tough. If you're 0-5 in kills, it's just how it is. And you've lost structures on the map all over. Lost the wall at the bottom, fort 2, the one at the top nearly eliminated. And here comes Freeze. With the 13, Lightning Breath is there. Not quite enough for a kill, but Last Hope comes in and he hits the isolation, and that's Urel down. That's a kill against Garrosh. And also the chase on, and Breeze again, like the beast he is, goes in. And is about to drop Nick, who just walks away. What?
The potion comes in at the last second. He had like 3 HP,
like,
but Kirsten got him.
And I feel Fnatic just walked away from it and said like, yeah, he's dead. And then all of a sudden he survives. So that was an interesting turn. I feel Nick himself was surprised. I was like, wait a second, what? I didn't die?
Nick is like, it's Christmas? Thank you so much for that present.
Yeah, thanks for that. But yeah, Fnatic is just turning around like, okay, he's dead. Wait, what? He's not?
Fnatic pulls away, just goes straight to the Immortal, gets an immediate halftime race on it. Method puts some damage out, about a quarter on the opposing Immortal, but still fighting at a disadvantage. Defense will have to be the name of the game for them.
Yeah, you don't have 13. And oh, nice. Hanzo rotation together with the Dahaka to the bot lane to create more pressure against the keep. Now keep in mind, the bot lane wall has fallen. So that means that this is going to go straight for keep pressure. And we're even seeing Ethereal moving over to the left.
They thought they were there.
Yeah, I think it was more so double checking. They realized they took the bot lane. But now we have the same game again. Look what the Dahaka does. He moves to the bot lane. He gets one wave after another, prepares the entire wave for the mercenary camp. And that is going to force Method to split someone down.
Yep.
And once that happens, Fnatic just burrows top with the Dahaka and starts to go straight for the Immortal.
I mean, this just showcases why so many teams try so hard to make sure they don't fall behind a Dahaka composition.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's just too difficult to do.
There it is. There's the burrow. Benny is already low. Benny is about to die here. The isolation is out. This is tough times again. Down goes Garrosh. The drag against Curson was strong too. He tries to save himself through the Lordnado, but nope, no amount of swirling books in the world are going to save you in that spot. Immediate focus on the Immortal. He's going to fall. and that will be a push through the top lane as Fnatic is going even for a bottom push to try and confirm the destruction of the keep down here.
Yeah, I mean, it's already down to half health here. Breeze comes in and gets another combo. Nick's able to knock him out of that. Here's a Hyperion just for defense. But this not being here means that that Immortal in the top lane will push further without that Hyperion. Keep does not fall. It's down to a small amount of HP, but Fnatic has to back away due to that Hyperion coming in.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for them, but keep in mind that this Immortal at the top lane is still doing work. And the more that Fnatic forces Method to be down here, no one is defending topside.
Yep.
So that Immortal is going to do even more pressure. And at any point, the Haka is just threatening the bot side so much. Hanzo alone can try and go in and with some ranged attacks. I mean, it needs 1, 2, and then you're in there. But yeah, the Haka is just simply staying at the bottom. Fnatic shifts topside, threatening the second keep. So now Method has to rotate up top to defend. And the Haka at the bottom is trying to get the keep. Ural has to respond, but that means there's one less hero that can defend against this.
Arrow comes out. Slows too, hoping to maybe get an Immortal stun, but they don't even need it. Genji gets sliced as he's taken out. Bad Benny's next as Schwimpy delivers that final arrow to his heart, and there is only 2 left, Raynor and Urel. So Fnatic grabs the keep here in the top lane, and they group up as 5.
If you don't go for the core here, then at least go for the second keep. But of course, with 3 heroes down, it's an easy choice to make. They're actually thinking about, okay, can we pull it off? I mean, they should be able to, even with Zero, but death timers are low. They're moving away from it. I don't think they can finish, but they should at least try and get that second keep.
Trying to see if they can maybe get someone to overstep in the defense so they can peel them forward and then move in for it. Gonna get the well here in the middle, and that's gonna be a 4-level lead. No damage on the core. They don't need it. Playing it safe as Method sets up for defense at the bottom keep. A Sonic Arrow.
Yeah.
Gets a kill.
Sonic Arrow of all things. It's just like, okay, that's all that we needed here. Great kill again against, 12 kills against 0. 4-level lead, as you said. 3 now. Method is with a wall to the back. There's just very, very little room for them here. And again, I'm coming back to Garrosh. Garrosh is having a really, really tough game. We have 4 kills against Bad Benny. I just can't help to feel that Muradin would have been doing a little bit more in that situation. At least he would have had a tool to escape. The Storm Balls would have stopped maybe some of these attacks that Fnatic was trying to coordinate here. They decided in favor of Garrosh, but they're not going to get a kill with it. Not going to get a win with him if this game continues the way that it's been running so far. They played only once with Garrosh, and that was a loss. Muradin, on the other hand, is their go-to. Wasn't banned out here, but they still decided against him.
We're getting to a point here where I wouldn't be surprised to see Method just sort of run at Fnatic and try to surprise them with a pick.
Oh, absolutely. Because, again, do you get 16 for the Immortal fight? Probably not.
Yeah.
Kind of impossible. If you play the long game, the Haka is going to out-rotate you. You have to just, at some point, just say, okay, let's go in. And that's what ADR is actually doing here. Arrow comes out again, but he has the drag. Last Hope is just so damn good as connecting those.
That was a Genji trying to escape the deflect.
On the Haka, he's really, really great when it comes to finding these crucial moments and going in, just saying, okay, I got this now, and destroying plays. His isolations that he's been hitting in these fights were also pretty solid. Breeze, of course, on Diablo is a beast. Down goes Garrosh again, death number 5 on him. And we have a double camp already pushing towards the core at the bottom of the map. Fnatic is just dominating this last game.
Yeah, this is the last attempt for Method to try and stay alive. But Fnatic is giving chase. Mene slowing down Curson. Here's another combo from Breeze. Curson gets a potion, but the potions will not be enough. And as you mentioned, that camp in the bottom lane is starting to get towards that core and already working on the shields. Fnatic grabbing the last Immortal 2, and they are starting the death march as they head towards the core.
There's absolutely no way for Method to defend. It's not only a 5-man headed your way, there's an Immortal with nearly 100% shields coming shortly after that too. The shields on the core are already gone. Fnatic is going to claim victory in this series and game number 4 as they are securing a 3-1 win over Team Method, claiming that number 3 spot in the standings of HGC Europe, even delivering another kill against Garrosh and Genji. GG, and well played, as Fnatic is victorious.
Fnatic moves up in the standings as they beat Method handily here, a 3-1 victory. Fnatic showing that when it going gets tough, they can rise to it. They are setting up for BlizzCon. This has been their main goals, is bringing the trust together. Slower than we were expecting, but finally getting to the point here where they are competing with some of the best and even earning wins here. 17-0 in kills.
And these were games where in the first part of Phase 2 we've been asking, how is Fnatic going to improve? Are they going to get that synergy? And the results at this point are really speaking for themselves. They're doing well here. They took down the Leftovers, which is by now a top team, just defeated Method. Against Dignitas, again, they took only a map, but they took a map more so than most other teams accomplished. So looking better and better every single week. The synergy is there and the coordination is really coming through for them.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many series that they went the full mile on.
Oh, yeah.
4 series in total. They went all the way to game number 5. I mean, to think about it, before going to Western Clash, they were literally 1 map away from being able to go to the Western Clash. Leftovers was able to push forward, but Fnatic finally pulling it all together, and it's what they've been working for so many weeks. Their attitude is continuing to improve. Their drafting is looking great as well, and they've got enough experimental flair here to surprise their opponents.
And you can hear it from Shrimp in the interviews too when he says, well, it's getting better, but we're still not doing as well as we want to. But time after time, they're just improving here. And that number 3 spot, as we talked about so earlier already, it means a lot. If you then can also hope that Team Liquid maybe screws up a little bit, you can even qualify directly for BlizzCon. For that, again, Liquid would have to lose, I think it's Leftovers and Method that they go up against. If they lose both of those, then they are in a situation where we could see the tie in matches with Fnatic, and then it comes down to the map score. And Fnatic's map score has been amazing the entire time, even when they were down in matches so much, because they always went to a 5-mapper, it felt like.
So, with this all being said, as we get closer and closer to BlizzCon, who, in your opinion, is starting to become the teams that really would be the best representation for us at BlizzCon?
Right now, I'm a little bit torn. The problem that I have is that while I think that Team Liquid has been looking great in part 1 of Phase 2, they really fell short at the offline event, and for a long time, it feels that on offline events, Liquid struggles slightly. They were also not as strong in the previous 2 games that they played, so I'm not quite sure. I would say that Dignitas is, of course, a shoe-in. Fnatic is improving more, so I think they would be a good representative. And then it comes, for me, down to a battle between Liquid and Leftovers. The best chance to go to BlizzCon is Liquid, though. They still are in a position where, with another victory, they can just lock it in and be done with this.
Well, we'll have it all figured out in a couple more weeks. We got Week 9 and Week 10 to figure that all out. But for now, let's go over to Schwimpy, who is here to celebrate his victory over at Method. Schwimpy, congratulations on your big win, a 3-1. Loving the little dance there. What do you think about the series overall? Do you think Method was at full power? Were you guys completely just on point today? What got you the win today?
Well, first of all, I would like to apologize to everyone who has to see my face every time we win, because my team are monkeys and they will never want to do an interview.
Calling them out will make that easier.
I would like to apologize to Twitch chat. Today we made you tag me when Benny feeds a lot, and it must have been hard on you. On the other hand, I don't think Method were as strong as they usually are, because something is wrong. But yeah, we were okay.
I wanted to ask you about the one loss that you had, actually. You pulled out the Tassadar Tracer composition again. What do you think went wrong? Why was it so difficult for you guys to push in that bottom lane, for instance? Did you just have a bad early game? What was the keys to victory for Method?
So basically, all we have to do is go even. And sadly, Lasco got pick up once, top lane. And then from there, it kind of snowballed. You know, they get the level advantage and they kept getting the dragons. And from there, it's really hard to win the game, even though we had a good chance. But I think they just had too much snowball, because we're weak early game, but we're very strong late game.
Awesome. Well, good to hear. I'm going to send you over to Caldor. Congrats on your victory, man.
Great job today. So congratulations first. My question is, right now you guys take over the number 3 spot. You still can make it into the number 2, but it depends a bit on how Team Liquid plays the next few matches if they stumble. How likely do you think it is that you are able to get a direct slot for BlizzCon?
I think it's very unlikely. I don't think Liquid would lose to any one of their future opponents except us, maybe.
Okay.
And that leaves us at the 3rd spot. So.
Are you guys worried in any way of qualifying for BlizzCon, considering that you seem to have found your stride right now? I mean, obviously, no one really can predict what happens in any given match, but do you guys feel confident that if you go into the playoffs as a number 3 seed, so you only have to play 1 match, that that's going to be a position where you can make the qualification happen?
Of course, it's worrying. I think I never played a qualifier to BlizzCon before. And, you know, it's always a fear of failing, but I think we're pretty confident as a team right now, and I think we can beat any of the teams that's ranked like 3 and below. So I'm not too worried, but it's still like stressful.
Do you feel that exactly that element, that it's stressful when you all of a sudden go into a playoffs and you know, okay, this match decides whether we go to the biggest offline event of the year or not, that might be a factor that pushes you guys again into a mode where maybe people don't talk as much as they usually do, and where we see you guys making mistakes that right now you seem to have overcome? Because it was the problem that you talked about at the beginning, right, in part 1 of phase 2, that you guys had too much nerves. When there's so much pressure on in the situation, do you think you guys by now are completely able to deal with that if someone gets nervous and you can calm them down? Or do you foresee that that could be a problem for you?
I don't think it will be much of a problem. I think we're very confident as a group, like as 5 players, and we trust each other. So if we keep showing that trust and respect, I think we will be just fine.
All right. Thank you very much. Great games today. I'm looking forward to next weekend.
Schwimpy, we are getting to the nitty-gritty of who's going to be that third team to finally go to BlizzCon. I just wanted to ask you, Dignitas as a shoe-in, who would be the other 2 teams that you think would be the best representation for Europe to compete?
You asked me this on Friday, and I said us Dignitas.
I want to hear it again, man.
Us. All right, I said us Dignitas,
Yeah,
and then Liquid or Leftovers. But since Leftovers won versus Liquid, right? I think I have to choose Leftovers now.
Yeah, because that 3-1 victory for the Leftovers. All right, man. I'm just trying to feel it out from everybody here because it keeps changing for me. I actually don't know who to pick between Team Liquid and Leftovers. I'm still starting to think that I'm bending a little over to Leftovers, but it's always good to hear from you. I'm going to let you go, man. I want to hear those shout-outs, of course.
Monster Energy, tasty, a lot of energy. As you can see, I'm very hyped today. So thank you very much and goodbye.
What's that caveman speak? Monster Energy, tasty. Thank you so much, Schwimpy, as they get a big win today. Move up to third slot. It's caveman speak.
No, he was trying his German. It's like efficient.
Oh, okay.
Just drop the amount of words you need to convey the message.